This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It is 5 o'clock here on your Monday. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey. Here's what's making headlines on this May 18th. As the work to fight the spread of the coronavirus in central Indiana grows, increasing testing continues to be a key factor. This morning, details on another option Hoosiers now have for free testing. Kroger is responding to backlash over its plan to end hazard pay. The new benefit they're now offering workers to say thank you. And the coronavirus is keeping many outdoor activities on hold, including some local sports leagues. Working for you this morning, how organizations are adjusting when it comes to starting up leagues and keeping people safe. But first, we need to get a check of your Storm Team 6 forecast. Todd Clausen working from home on this Monday. And we have a rainy commute to work for anyone that has to head out there, Todd.
You know, it is a wet start, Lauren, as we continue to deal with this band of rainfall moving through. We have just a couple lightning strikes out there, no severe weather, but some heavy rainfall is falling really from Peru now down through downtown Indianapolis, and it's starting to shift off towards the east just a little bit. But here is the rain in Miami County, stretches back towards Logansport as well, right down US 31 into Kokomo and Howard County. Some very heavy rainfall will continue to the south. Cicero up towards Morse Reservoir, some heavy rain continues to fall. And then there's that one little lightning strike that is just now to the northeast of the Greenfield area that you see there that I've circled. That's the only lightning strike we have so far. And then as far as the rain showers, you'll continue to see them stream from south to north. That's the main direction that they're going, but they're also sliding a little further off towards the east. So the heaviest of the rain is going to shift to the east here throughout the course of the morning hours. And that's where we also have some flash flood watches that are posted. We're in the 50s and 60s. Temperatures today eventually climb up into the 70s. The first half of the day is a little wetter. Then the second half, there are definitely dry hours to get out and about this afternoon, Lauren. But still probably the chance of a few scattered showers. We'll talk more about the rest of the week coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic. If you are heading out on the wet roads, I-70 a little west of Lyndhurst Drive. You can see traffic in this area is moving along up to speed, both eastbound and westbound. No delays to slow you down. We'll continue to keep you updated and let you know if there are any crashes out there for your Monday morning commute. We do now want to get to the latest information from the Indiana State Department of Health on how the coronavirus is impacting Hoosier lives. 11 new deaths were reported Sunday, bringing the total number of Hoosiers who have lost their lives to COVID-19 to 1,607. 511 new positive cases were also reported on Sunday. There are now more than 27,000 Hoosiers who have tested positive for the coronavirus. Marion County still has the most cases with more than 8,000 positive tests. More than 177,000 people have been tested statewide with a rate of 15.6% positive. Taking a look now at our hospital preparedness, intensive care unit and ventilator capacity remains steady. More than 38% of ICU beds and more than 80% of the ventilators are still available. That's as of Sunday. We expect an update from the state later this afternoon. There is now another option for Hoosiers looking to get tested for COVID-19. Our Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning with all the details. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. So a private urgent care chain is now offering testing, and that testing is completely free. Indiana Immediate Care has 4 Indianapolis locations. 2 weeks ago, they started doing curbside nasal swab coronavirus testing. They're also now doing antibody screenings for recovered COVID-19 patients. We talked with the director of operations about what people need to know. She says you don't have to be a current patient. You just need to call when you get in the parking lot so they can screen you first over the phone.
I would invite every Hoosier in the state of Indiana to come in and get tested if they feel that they've been previously infected and they just want some reassurance, or if they think that they're sick, they really need to get back to work, so they need that test result showing whether or not they are a good candidate and eligible to go back to work. I think those are 2 tremendous values for all Hoosiers here.
The director of operations for Indiana Immediate Care says she hopes this helps Indiana get back on track by getting more people tested. And they are part of the federal program, which means all of the testing that would be happening at these urgent care sites are completely free to you. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. Almost every state enters this week with some eased COVID-19 restrictions. Some health officials worry, though, it'll lead to a rise in COVID cases. John Lawrence has the latest.
Many Americans are now leaving the house as stay-at-home or shelter-in-place orders are lifted in dozens of states. Everyone's watching this to see what this grand experiment is going to result in. But we know for an absolute certainty that as you increase physical interactions between people, you are going to increase the number of new cases. According to Johns Hopkins University, there are nearly 90,000 confirmed coronavirus-related deaths in the U.S., and CDC Director Dr. Robert Redfield says the U.S. will likely pass 100,000 deaths by June 1st.
We do not have good restrictions or good guidelines in place for people how to reopen. It's going to become very confusing for people. We're going to see more and more cases.
President Trump has repeatedly stressed the importance of states reopening as one way to strengthen the struggling economy.
We're committed to delivering a vaccine. We're going to put the full power of the U.S. government and our private sector towards getting to a vaccine. But that's one part of a multifactorial response program.
As the U.S. waits for a vaccine to be available, Americans are moving onward.
I think the most I'm going to have on a job is 4, maybe, and that's a lot different. I mean, we used to have 7, 8 guys on jobs, so things might take a little longer, but at least we're going to be safe moving forward.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Well, with face coverings becoming the new normal, it's making it really difficult for the hard of hearing to understand people. Not only do the masks muffle sounds, but it also prevents people from reading lips. So a couple in Indiana created a special see-through ones for those with hearing loss. Dr. Jill Caseworm of South Bend helped to create the Communicator Masks after seeing the challenges faced by her husband, David, who's been hard of hearing for 30 years. The Caseworms are now working with a manufacturer in California to make the masks. They're also working to get them into grocery stores.
We've worked now with some grocery stores to have one aisle that's specifically designated for people with hearing loss, and they're wearing the Communicator mask. So now people with hearing loss can see someone's lips.
Well, the Caseworms are selling these masks online. Kroger says it will spend $130 million to say thank you to its employees for working during the pandemic. The one-time payment is both full and part-time employees. As part of the thank you pay, the full-time employees will receive an extra $400, while the part-time associates will get $200. The news comes after Kroger received backlash after announcing it would end hazard pay for workers. At 5:07 today, the Hoosier Lottery prize payment offices will reopen. Locations in Indianapolis, Mishawaka, and Evansville will be open for appointment-only in-person redemption of prizes of $600 or more. Winners should call 1-800-955-6886 to schedule an appointment. All appointments must be made in advance, and same-day appointments may not be available. Prizes of up to $599 may be redeemed at Hoosier Lottery retailers. In Fisher's, Topgolf has reopened. The venue released this video message from CEO Dolph Burley. It outlines new safety measures, including social distancing guidelines. Employees will wear masks at all times and gloves while handling food and drinks. They'll also undergo daily health screenings. For visitors, each golf bay will be disinfected after every group, and dividers have been installed between bays. Well, a lot of spring sports have been canceled due to COVID-19, and summer leagues, they're still up in the air. Our Kelsey Anderson spoke with a local youth organization to see how they're handling the unknown.
The Oklaland Youth Organization had to cancel their spring season and cancel 2 of their big summer tournaments that they have every single year. They say now they're just in a holding pattern, waiting to see what's next for rec leagues. On an average year, 800 kids sign up to play ball at OYO. They have spring recreation leagues, summer travel leagues, and fall leagues. They are waiting for more guidance from county officials, plus to see what other local leagues decide to do.
So as Matt said, obviously not an easy decision to cancel, but we have put it at the forefront to keep the families safe here and to just concentrate on their well-being and the health and safety of everybody. So, we've just had to put our heads together, and we thought rather than trying to force too many seasons, we decided to go for an expanded fall season.
Organizers say they want to make sure the first season back is as special as possible, and they'll put new precautions in place to make sure all the families who visit can stay safe and healthy. They tell me if you did sign up for the spring season, you have 3 options. You can get your money back in a full refund, you can use that money towards the fall season if it happens, or you can donate the money to OYO. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Well, things looked a bit different on Sunday with no fans and social distancing as NASCAR returned to the track in Darlington, South Carolina for the Real Heroes 400. The race was a tribute to healthcare workers battling COVID-19 who served as virtual grand marshals. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. crashed on the first lap of Sunday's race, and Jimmy Johnson lost control of his car later. The day also marked Ryan Newman's comeback after his fiery crash at the Daytona 500 back in February. The Indiana native was put in a medically induced coma. He woke up the next day and left the hospital less than 48 hours following that accident. Newman finished in 15th place and Kevin Harvick took first place. All right, Todd, let's get a check of our forecast on this Monday. It is raining, maybe waking folks up a little bit this morning.
Yeah, you know, when I went to bed last night, there was some heavy rain that went through. Then it kind of woke me up in the middle of the night, and now it's raining again when I've woken up here to come to you and broadcast for you. So it's still wet across the area, and the first half of the day here is going to be the wettest part of the day. You notice the rain chances decrease as we get into the afternoon hours, as they'll become a little more scattered across the area. But this heavier band of rain is moving through the state right now, sliding from south to north with a little bit of an eastern trajectory and component to it, but nonetheless, where it is raining, coming down pretty good, and the area of low pressure is still off to our west. And we're going to be talking, unfortunately, about this area of low pressure for the next couple days, as it's going to be moving very, very slowly. So today, rain chances decrease. There are dry hours later on this afternoon for you to get out and about. Temperatures will be in the 60s and 70s today, so fairly seasonable for this time of year. There are also flash flood watches posted for parts of the area, because we're going to be dealing with rain not only today but tomorrow as well. We'll talk more about tomorrow's rain coming up in just a little bit, but always a reminder, you can download the Storm Shield app. That'll let you know of any warnings or watches get issued in your area. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. A busy weekend for Metro Police as they investigate multiple shootings, one of them deadly. We're breaking down what you need to know about those investigations this morning. And no spitting, no throwing the ball around, no stadium showers. Straight ahead, some of the changes that could be coming to Major League Baseball this summer. We'll be right back.
Listen to your heart finale, ABC tonight.
Developing this morning, Metro Police are investigating a shooting that left one person injured last night. This happened around 10 o'clock on the Stone Lake Lodge Apartments, just near Hannah Avenue on the city's south side. Right now, not a lot is known about what led up to this shooting, but we are told the victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. No suspect or victim information has been given at this time. Police are also investigating a shooting on the city's east side. This one also happened around 10 o'clock last night. Officers were called to the 500 block of North Denny Street, that's near East Michigan Street. When they arrived, they found a person suffering from a apparent gunshot wound to the leg. The person was last listed as stable and expected to recover. Police are also investigating after a homicide, and a man was shot and killed early Sunday morning on the east side of Indianapolis. According to information from the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, that shooting happened just after midnight in the 4400 block of East Michigan Street. The victim, whose identity has not been released, was transported to an area hospital in critical condition where he later died. We asked police if this homicide was connected to the shooting on North Denny Street. We are still waiting to learn more information, and as always, if you have any information about any of these shootings, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS. Turning now to the upcoming election, and the deadline to request an absentee ballot for the upcoming primary is this Thursday, May 21st. The state's primary is moved to June 2nd, and that's due to the coronavirus pandemic. Ballots can be emailed, mailed, or faxed. The county clerk must receive your absentee ballot by noon on June 2nd. Early voting starts May 26th, and it goes through June 1st. If you vote in person, you must bring your own mask, gloves, and other protective equipment you need. Well, the official start to hurricane season is still 2 weeks away, but North Carolina is already preparing as a tropical storm Arthur ramps up. It's the first named storm in the Atlantic for 2020. Right now, Arthur is turning off the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. Arthur is not expected to make landfall, but heavy winds, rain, and some flooding may occur. The storm is expected to make its closest pass to the Outer Banks this morning. Okay, Todd, is this storm impacting our forecast here in central Indiana, or will it during this week?
You know, it actually will, and here it is, right? So you just mentioned staying off the shore in the Atlantic, and it's just going to kind of block up the weather pattern for us here going forward in this forecast the next few days, and that's going to result in us dealing with the weather that we're dealing with right now, and unfortunately, that's not a lot of sunshine. It is just more in the way of dealing with showers and just some rainfall. So let me go over to Storm Team 6 radar here for you and show you exactly what's going to happen. Not sure why we jumped to the 7-day there, but here is the radar currently, and you can see the heavy rainfall is up in the Peru area up to Kokomo as well into Tipton and Elwood here. There's no lightning. This is just some heavy rainfall, and then as we slide a little further down to the south into the metro area, some decent rain still falling through Indianapolis over towards the Speedway area into Beech Grove as well. And then as we slide a little further off towards the east, we had some heavier rain here in Shelbyville. That's kind of slid over to the north here into Newcastle, the Pendleton area, some heavy rainfall, Alexandria as well. So you just got to give yourself a little bit of extra time this morning if you do have to get on the roadways, as there could be a little bit of ponding, and then lighter rainfall, Spencer over towards Bloomington. While this all will continue to slide off towards the east, and the bigger picture here is going to show that we are dealing with an area of low pressure that is off to our northwest, and this is what's going to kind of spin around across the area because of that tropical system that's off the east coast. It's just not going to be able to move, and that just leaves us honestly in a bad spot. And we're going to be dealing with showers off and on throughout the day today and into tomorrow, and also cooler temperatures. I will say the showers become a little less numerous though as the day goes on. Flash flood watches are posted across parts of the area, and the areas you see in green from Muncie down through the Seymour area over towards Richmond. And that's because this area here is going to get into more in the way of rainfall, I think, tomorrow. So I don't think it's so much an issue with flash flooding today as it will be tomorrow as some heavier rainfall gets thrown back in our direction. 50s and 60s temperature-wise right now. Throughout the day today, we'll deal with areas of rain throughout the morning, then just some spotty showers this afternoon with high temperatures eventually right around 70 degrees. Now, tomorrow, as we go into your Tuesday, and we'll go into the morning hours with rainfall coming back in. And here's what I mentioned by some of the heavier rainfall. It's actually going to back into the area from east to west throughout the day tomorrow. It's heaviest to the east, but overall tomorrow going to be a pretty wet and damp day for us across most of the area. A little cooler as well because of those clouds. 69 degrees. Improvement though by the end of the week as that tropical system, which will likely become Arthur, moves off to the North Atlantic. It opens up the weather pattern for us, everything to start moving again, Lauren, and that's good for us because by the weekend, Memorial Day weekend, high temperatures look like they will be in the 80s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here's a look right now at traffic as you're heading out on the roads, wet roads here over on the east side, I-70 and Sherman Drive. Just a reminder, as you're heading out the door this week, we have the eastbound lanes open. You may remember that from last week as that construction project wrapped up. The westbound lanes, however, between I-465 on the east side and the north split, those remain closed throughout this week. The end of that construction project is set for this Sunday. Of course, we'll keep you updated if that is still on track throughout the week. Something to keep in mind, though, so if you are traveling westbound, you will still need to reroute. As you can see, those lanes are closed. We are getting our first look at what a return to Major League Baseball could look like. According to documents obtained by ESPN, the season includes several sweeping changes. Extensive COVID-19 testing would be administered to players and team personnel weekly. Several social distancing protocols would also be put in place. Players would be required to wear masks and would also be discouraged from showering at stadiums after the games. Also, game balls would be thrown away after being touched by multiple players, and throwing the ball around the infield would be discouraged. Teams have until May 22nd to provide input on those proposed changes. ABC Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z delivered some words of wisdom to Valparaiso University's class of 2020 on the day their graduation was canceled. Coming up here, her special message to grads. And still ahead on Good Morning Indiana, a field with more jobs to offer than people to fill them. And that's not just during the global pandemic. We're taking a look at this important but often overlooked field of mortuary sciences. We'll be right back.
Helping you drive forward.
Sunday was supposed to be the day seniors at Valparaiso University walked across the stage to receive their diplomas, but the ceremony was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So Valpo grad and ABC chief meteorologist Ginger Z, well, she was asked to be the keynote speaker. Disappointed she was not able to attend the ceremony and wanting to share words of wisdom, she shared this message with the class of 2020.
I just wanted to take this moment to say I am so disappointed that I'm not going to be with you for your commencement. I was supposed to be the speaker, the keynote, and it was a huge honor for me, but I know such a bigger day for you, truly, in your lives. What I can tell you is that the clouds don't last forever. That's what I learned at Valparaiso with my scientific degree in meteorology. It's not how the atmosphere works, and what I've learned since is it's not how life works. Things do get better.
Well, Ginger says this is a difficult and transitional time, and she encourages students to do their absolute best to find the sunshine. I love that message, Todd. And today we are going to be looking for the sunshine. It just started picking up the rain here. It's so loud from the studio. I wish you could be in here with me. What can we expect as people are heading out the door to start their work week?
You know, Lauren, I just went upstairs and I looked out on my patio and there's like ponding on the patio. That's how heavy the rain's coming down. It usually just kind of runs right off. Here's a live look at Storm Team 6 radar. And you can see the heaviest of the rain is falling from Indianapolis to the north currently. Peru down towards Fairmount into the Anderson area. Here's what's happening in downtown Indianapolis right now. And we'll continue to deal with these rain showers off and on throughout the course of the day today, especially the morning hours as you see this band of rainfall. It's lifting off towards the northeast, back off to our west in Illinois. Not a whole lot going on right now, but we will maintain scattered showers off and on here throughout the day, but definitely more dry hours as we get into the afternoon compared to this morning.
RTV6 is working for you.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5:30, the fight against COVID-19 continues across the Hoosier state this morning. Working for you, we're looking at the latest effort to get more Hoosiers tested. Plus, the coronavirus has caused a delay in game for most outdoor activities. This morning, how local baseball and softball leagues plan to keep athletes and fans safe and when they can play ball again. It's 5:30 here on your Monday. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is at home this morning monitoring the rain showers you probably hear outside your window right now. Todd, what's it looking like out there?
You know, the rain's coming down pretty heavy where it is raining, Lauren. So either you're seeing quite a bit of heavy rainfall or no rain at all this morning. But this is a band that extends all the way from Peru to the north through the metro area and points to the south this morning. And this is one of what has been several bands of heavy rainfall that has moved through. Of course, Kyle was tracking the potential for severe weather yesterday evening with that first initial band of rainfall. Nothing severe here, not expected to be severe. It's just some heavy rainfall, Peru to Marion to Fairmount down towards Tipton and Alexandria. And as we work our way into the metro area, Indianapolis, some heavier rainfall just pushing through downtown. This is going to slide up towards Castleton, over onto the west or east side rather in Warren Township and into portions of the Castleton and Lawrence area. So be aware of that. And then as we expand out, you notice this band sliding off towards the east. So the heaviest of the rain going to shift to the east here this morning. To the west, we're starting to dry out just a little bit, but with this area of low pressure still in the area throughout the day today, we'll continue to deal with these showers off and on. 50s and 60s temperature-wise, not bad this morning. Highs get back up to right around 70 degrees. Definitely drier this afternoon, even a little bit of sunshine expected to work in, but we'll also have to maintain, Lauren, the chance of at least a few spotty showers even throughout the afternoon hours, but definitely drier than what we're dealing with currently across the area.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. And let's take a look at an area where the rain is coming down pretty hard right now. This is up on the north side, and you can see the wet roads, and you can see the reflection there from the headlights. Traffic is picking up as well. This is I-465 near Michigan Road to our north. You can see traffic is still moving along about up to speed. If you look closely, you can see we have a stalled vehicle there in the left shoulder, it looks like. So just watch out for other people with the rain coming down so hard this morning in areas. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any crashes or delays that might slow you down this morning. New from overnight, police are investigating a shooting on the city's south side. Officers were called to an apartment complex near I-65 and I-4 465 around 10:30 Sunday night on reports of a person shot. When they arrived, they found the victim in critical condition. They were taken to the hospital. This morning, we're working to learn what led to this gunfire. This morning, police need your help to find a missing Morgan County woman. Police are looking for 81-year-old Patsy Clark. She was last seen in Morgantown Sunday afternoon wearing a sweatshirt turned inside out. Patsy is believed to be driving a red 1990 Ford Explorer with Indiana license plate VTL 243. If you know where Patsy Clark is, please call police. Now to the very latest on the COVID-19 outbreak. Indiana's death toll has now surpassed 1,600. The Indiana State Department of Health reporting 11 new deaths as of yesterday. More than 1,600 Hoosiers have died from the virus. 511 new cases were also reported. That brings our total to more than 27,000 people testing positive in our state since the pandemic began. More than 8,000 of those cases were reported in Marion County. Hoosiers who think they may have COVID-19 or have recovered and they may have antibodies now have another option for testing. Our Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning with all the details. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. So a private urgent care chain is now testing anyone who thinks they may have the COVID-19 virus. They're also testing people who have had the virus in the past and recovered by doing antibody testing. Now, this is the Indiana Immediate Care Chain, a private urgent care chain with 4 Indianapolis locations, and they're now providing all of these types of testing. You don't have to be a patient. You just need to call when you arrive at the testing sites, and they'll screen you right over the phone. After that, they'll come outside to do a curbside nasal swab. The 4 immediate care testing locations are part of a federal program that allows them to conduct testing at no cost to patients.
We felt that was tremendously valuable to the Hoosiers here in Indiana. And also just a lack of testing availability. Like, why not? Let's jump in the game and start helping Indiana get back on track. Let's start helping get our economy back open.
They're also doing antibody testing for patients who have recovered from the virus, which is done inside the facility. And that antibody testing is done to verify if someone did indeed have the virus. It's also done to see if that person is now immune to COVID-19. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. It is 5:35. Several Indianapolis public libraries are beginning to reopen with curbside delivery. Starting today, you can request library materials online or over the phone at any of the 5 designated locations. Those include Central Library, the East 38th Street branch, Glendale, Pike, and Southport branches. You'll need to contact that specific branch to give staff the arrival time. You'll also be asked to park and call again to let the library know that you've arrived. They will then ask for your name, the last 4 digits of your library card, and a vehicle description. The library worker will then bring your order to a table where you can step out and pick it up. Employees at 2 Central Indiana auto plants will return to work this morning. The General Motors plant in Kokomo and the Subaru facility in Lafayette are set to resume production. According to GM, all employees will go through safety protocols. New measures will include hand sanitizing, face coverings, safety glasses, and temperature scans. The Kokomo plant has built ventilators since that shutdown. Home improvement stores have been busy with people looking to spruce up their homes, and now a new service in Indianapolis can deliver those large products like patio furniture right to your door. It's called Freight. The senior sales manager for the company describes it as similar to Uber Eats, but instead of bringing you food, they bring you larger items that the store can't fit into your car. You just need to buy the item, select that you're picking up at the store.
So they're going to hold it, but what happens is once you do that, then you download our app or get on our app, enter that information, put a receipt number or whatever in there. You can even take a picture of the receipt if that's easier for you. And then once you click submit or accept, it goes right to the driver pool. And like I said, from that point, the driver shows up within 60 minutes. They go in, get your stuff, and they're headed straight to your house.
Freight has been operating in Indianapolis, working with stores like Sherwin-Williams, but recently they launched the consumer side of the business in response to the demand during this pandemic. Right now they have more than 80 vehicles working in the Indianapolis area. A lot of spring sports have been canceled due to COVID-19, and summer leagues, they're still up in the air. Our Kelsey Anderson spoke with a local youth organization to see how they're handling the unknown.
The Oklalandon Youth Organization normally has about 800 kids sign up to play baseball and softball every year. They had to cancel their spring season, and they don't know when they'll get back to playing, but what they do know is they're going to make it special for the kids.
games every weekend until school's out, and then we start weeknight games.
In a world without the current pandemic, this dugout and this field would be filled with young athletes.
Well, right now we're kind of on a holding pattern.
The OIO Board of Directors had to cancel the spring season and now are waiting to see how much of their summer season they can salvage.
We're kind of waiting to see where Marion County hits as far as when we are allowed to start again. That will determine if and when we can start a summer league.
Once they do start back up, organizers tell me the health and safety of everyone will be at the forefront of their minds.
But we want to keep everybody as safe as possible, and we will definitely put every measure in place that we need to keep our park safe and keep all of our patrons safe.
They are hopeful bats will be swinging soon, and they know everyone is ready to be at the ballpark.
We're all in this together right now. I know my daughter has lost the ability to play out here, just like, you know, the other 800 kids that registered out here this year. They all want to play. They all want to get back out here, and we're going to do the best we can to make sure they can get back out here in the fall.
They tell me if you did sign up for the spring season, you have 3 options. You can get your money back in a full refund. You can use that money towards the fall season if it happens, or you can donate the money to OIO. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
All right, thank you, Kelsey. If you're planning on playing some sports with the golf courses being open, maybe you had a tee time this morning, going to be a little damp out there, so make sure you check with the course before you do head out. Take a look at Storm Team 6 radar, and you can see this heavier rainfall making its way through parts of the area. It's shifting mainly from the metro area and points to the north and then off towards the east right now, but we're going to continue to have rain in the forecast for the next few days. We have this area of low pressure that is to our north, and we have this counterclockwise spin around this area of low pressure, and this thing is just a slow mover, so it's going to be lingering for a while. But the main issue is this tropical system that is off the coast of the Carolinas right now that you see spinning right here. This is just slowly going to make its way to the north, and it's really just essentially going to block our area from low pressure from moving much at all throughout the next few days, and that unfortunately keeps us in the rain shower activity. We'd rather have high pressure in control when we're getting blocked, so we have nice sunny weather, but that's not going to be the case. We're dealing with rain showers today, especially this morning. Then they really ramp up again throughout the day tomorrow before they diminish as we head towards the holiday weekend. We'll talk more about that forecast and talk about the rain in more detail for today coming up in just a little bit, Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. A Canadian Air Force jet crashes during the middle of a performance. This morning, we're breaking down what happened the moments before the crash. We'll be right back.
To us, it's personal.
This morning, an inmate at the Federal Corrections Complex in Terre Haute is fighting COVID-19. The inmate tested positive for the virus on Saturday. 2 staff members who had contact with the inmate are now being tested and are self-quarantining. It's not clear which facility in the Terre Haute complex that inmate is being housed. This morning, authorities are investigating an Air Force plane crash in British Columbia. As ABC's Megan Tevrizian reports, the fighter jet was participating in the air show supporting Canadian healthcare workers.
This morning, video showing 2 snowbird jets, part of the Canadian Armed Forces, taking off Sunday moments before a fatal crash. One jet veering to the left, appearing to do a barrel roll in the air before starting to plunge straight to the ground.
He just crashed. Oh my God!
The flight, part of a national campaign to boost morale across Canada during the COVID-19 crisis. The snowbirds, similar to America's version of the Blue Angels, were in the middle of crossing the country doing flyovers in British Columbia.
One of the snowbirds, flying a little lower than typically expected, did a barrel roll approximately over crestline. There was a flash or a spark shortly after the barrel roll, and I saw a pilot eject, and the plane basically just took a nosedive straight into the ground.
The 2 pilots crashing into this neighborhood, causing at least 1 house to catch fire. Emergency responders performing rescue operations on the roof of a nearby house.
There was a large amount of debris in around a 3-home proximity. The one home was significantly damaged by fire.
Captain Jennifer Casey died in the crash. The former journalist joined the snowbirds in November of 2018. The Royal Canadian Air Force tweeting, "We are deeply saddened and grieve alongside Jen's family and friends." In October of last year, a snowbird jet crashed during an air show in Atlanta, Georgia. In that crash, the pilot was able to eject safely and wasn't injured. No one on the ground was hurt.
Megan Terizian, ABC News, New York. We are working for you with a scam warning this morning. If you're looking to adopt a puppy while staying home, make sure it's legit. The Better Business Bureau warns of a spike of quarantine puppy scams where people advertise on websites for non-existent animals. Scammers would provide the money up front or make excuses about why they can't see the pet in person. To avoid these scams, don't buy a pet without seeing it in person, and avoid wiring money or using a cash app or gift card. Consider reaching out to a local animal shelter instead. Today marks the 40th anniversary of the eruption of Mount St. Helens. The volcano in the Cascade Mountains is in Washington state, nearly 100 miles south of Seattle. Mount St. Helens was recognized as a volcano back in 1835. There have been at least 4 significant eruptions over the past 5 centuries. The blast on May 18th in 1980 killed 57 people and did more than $1 billion worth of damage. The time right now is 5:46 on your Monday. Let's get a check of our forecast right now with Todd Clausen. Hey, TK.
Lauren, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. It's a wet Monday for us all across the areas. We're dealing with yet another round of heavier rainfall making its way through central Indiana. It started yesterday with the threat of severe weather, and we didn't really have too many warnings. That was good news. And we did have some heavy rainfall, though, and that continues with this latest band of rain that's moving through. Some heavy rain from Peru down into the Marion area to Fairmount as we continue to work our way through Grant County into Hartford City. And as we slide down to the south into the metro area with the heavy band of rain that just now is to the east of downtown Indianapolis, pushing into portions of the Castleton and Geist area. It's getting ready to move into Lawrence as well, and this will continue to push off towards the east. A heavier downpour just to the east of Shelbyville, down towards St. Paul right now, but we're not picking up much in the way of any lightning. There's been a few lightning strikes over the last hour or two, but no severe weather is expected. Then there's just some scattered light rain showers in Bloomington as well as Spencer and the Bloomfield area. So this band of rain is moving from south to north as it's sliding off towards the east. At the same time, back to the west, you notice in Illinois, there's really not a whole lot going on. So throughout the day today, the wettest part of the day is what's occurring right now through about, I would say, 8, 9 o'clock. That's when most of this heavy rainfall will start to slide off into Ohio. Most of the area by the noon hours should be dry with mostly cloudy skies, but we'll have to maintain the chance of just a spot shower or two in this forecast throughout the afternoon hours. We're not looking at a lot in the way of heavy rainfall this afternoon, but there could be a sprinkle and also some sunshine. But it's going to be one of those deals where if we get into some sunshine, we could quickly start to flare up some showers as well as we build in that heating. There's still a lot of instability that's around as well. So it's not a completely rain-free afternoon, but just know that less in the way of rain will fall this afternoon, at least compared to this morning. Temperatures are in the 50s and 60s. Highs today should be right around 70 degrees. So despite the clouds, we will have dry conditions by 6 p.m. and seasonable temperatures, again, right around that 70-degree mark. Tomorrow, though, we bring back the rain. In fact, the rain tomorrow could be fairly heavy, especially off towards the eastern half of the state. And you notice it comes in from east to west, kind of the opposite direction as we normally see. And when you add up the rain that has fallen, will fall today and is expected to fall as we head through Tuesday into Wednesday morning. That's why those flash flood watches are posted on the eastern side of the state by the National Weather Service. As the week progresses, it gets better. The storm system that is a tropical system on the East Coast, that will start to slide further off into the North Atlantic, and that opens up the weather pattern once again to moving, and that will allow the sunshine to build in by the time we get to the holiday weekend. And as we get that sunshine, also the warmer temperatures, looks like the 80s for Saturday, Sunday, and then if we would carry this over one more day to Memorial Day as well, Lauren, looks like we should be in the 80s for that. So the unofficial start of summer is actually going to feel like summer here by the end of the week.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic as you're heading out on the roads. Here's a live look at I-465 near Ditch Road. You can see traffic is moving along up to speed in both directions. We do have the wet roads out there, and you can see the water coming up from the vehicles as they drive past here on our screen. Everything's traveling up to speed, though. No crashes on the north side to slow down your commute. For the first time in its 73-year history, the World Health Assembly will not be held in person. Members from the World Health Organization will gather virtually later today for the annual Oversight Convention. Typically, members discuss a wide range of global health topics, but the main focus this year will be, of course, on the current pandemic. WHO members who are expected to talk about plans for the COVID vaccines, they're going to talk about other possible solutions as well to this health crisis. Well, the Willard down in Johnson County is packed full of history. Still ahead this morning, we travel to Franklin to see why dining at this local legend is an experience. We'll be right back. A Johnson County restaurant is opening its doors to customers again. Our Brad Brown shows us why dining inside the Willard is so special.
History hangs in every corner of the Willard restaurant in downtown Franklin.
A lot of people come to see the old building, and the fact that we have great food, is another reason to get people in here. But the building itself is kind of what people come to see.
For 160 years, the house has stood strong on this corner of Main Street, a hotel in a former life. You can still see the decades of old charm all around. It has grown over the years into one of Franklin's most beloved restaurants.
We're completely in debt to our customers in the community. When we let them know that we're going to stay open, and give them our famous pizza and our wings and our bread tenderloins, they answered the call and started calling us.
As the tables inside have had to sit empty over the past couple of weeks, the Willard crew has taken its menu favorites to the carry-out curb.
All right, I'll go check on it for you.
Mainly sandwiches, salads, pizza, and wings. It's been an adjustment for everyone, but it's been easier than we thought it would be at the beginning, just because the customers in our community have been understanding that we're trying to figure this out as we go.
The Willard spot next to the historic Art Craft Theater makes for quite a taste of the past in Franklin.
I've worked here since I was in high school, so I've definitely seen generations of people, whether or not they've worked here with us or they've just been customers. But yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of different generations over the years. It feels great knowing that people are excited to see familiar faces, whether it's your bartender or your waitress or just anybody. But I hear it all the time that they're really excited to see us as much as we're excited to see them.
Working for you in Johnson County, Brad Brown, RTV6.
All right, Brad, thank you. Well, the Willard reopened its dining room at 50% capacity last week. Patio and veranda seating is also available. You can check out the Willard Restaurant Facebook page for daily specials. It's open 7 days a week in Franklin. Oh, Todd, that was a popular spot when I was in college. I could go for some pizza right about now.
All right, yeah, Lauren, I'm sure it was a popular spot and sure is still today. We're dealing with some rain across parts of central Indiana right now. It's coming down heavy at times. Temperatures are sitting in the 50s and 60s. The rain's pretty heavy in spots here this morning. It'll start to taper off as we get into the afternoon hours, but there is a flash flood watch for the eastern side of the state. That's kind of a combo of the rain that will fall today and the rain that will fall tomorrow, but I think there's definitely more dry hours this afternoon, and then there will be wet hours. Our high temperature is right around 70 degrees here throughout the day. Tomorrow's a pretty wet day. For some of you, 69 degrees, and then warmer and brighter weather is going to arrive by the end of the week. As we head into the weekend, high temperatures, they should be up right around 80 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. The school year is over for most Hoosier students, but for school employees, the work continues. All new at 6 o'clock, our Rafael Sanchez shows us the hardworking group feeding dozens of students every day. Plus, we're working to connect you with careers with the hiring sign posted this morning, the occupation in demand regardless of the economy. It's 5:57. Stick around. We'll be right back.